So I've come here to Truro, Malpas Park to be specific, and just going to have a look at the tidal river here. A lot of people don't realise that Truro is on a tidal river. It's so far inland. It's about sort of 15 miles up from Falmouth. But the reason that the rivers are so tidal, or we've got the tidal river here, is because of the local geology. There's a principle called isostasy. It's the rubber duck effect. And with the isostasy, when you put pressure onto rock, the rock sinks slightly into the mantle, and the land sinks. When you take that pressure off, it's like putting your finger on top of a rubber duck in the bath. And when that pressure is removed, then the land springs up again. There is a slight springiness to the mantle. And that's exactly what's happened in the UK. So a few thousand years ago, the UK, particularly Scotland and Northern England and Wales, were covered with ice during the last ice age. I think it was about 25,000 years ago, the peak of the ice age. And that was the additional weight, the weight of several kilometres of ice, pushed the crust and all of the rocks that we're on down into the mantle, just slightly. Of course, southern Cornwall wasn't glaciated, so that didn't sink quite so much. If anything, it probably rose a bit when the other land was sinking. And what's happened, of course, since then the ice has melted, and northern Scotland and the north of the UK have risen back up, and that seesaw effect means that Cornwall is now sinking ever so slightly, and that's particularly noticeable on the south coast here, because what's happened over those 25,000 years is that the south coast of Cornwall has sunk by several metres. And the river valleys that were there beforehand have now sunk down below sea level and have been inundated. And those river valleys are called rias. And Truro, the Truro River that I'm stood next to now, is an example of one of those rias. Truro is the northern extent of the tidal river. It's where the rivers Kenwyn and Allen meet. And I have to say, on a beautifully crisp, calm, still day like today, I think it looks absolutely magnificent. Don't you? But, like I said, the reason it's here is entirely because of a geological principle called isostasy. Of course, in the last sort of 500 to 1,000 years, tin mining has come along, particularly this part of Cornwall. Not Truro itself, but the Fowl River and the Carnon River both empty into the same estuary, and they have added a lot of sediment to these rivers as well. So whilst Truro is on a flooded river valley, actually there's an awful lot of sediment in this basin here, and the landfill site behind me in Boscawen Park prevents that sediment from washing away and retains it in place. So you've got this almost like a pool of water here. It looks absolutely beautiful on a day like today. Crystal clear reflections from the clouds, hardly a ripple to it. but it's been created by geology with a little bit of help from man. And that's what we got. There we go, folks. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one.